What's up? That was my symbiote tongue impression. I am here finally after about a month after seeing it to review Venom. Let there be carnage. Fun fact about the word carnage, that is my wife's least favorite word. At least her least favorite word that's not profanity. For whatever reason, she just hates that word. And when I told her about Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I told her I was excited because I love the villain of Carnage in the Spider-Man cartoon, the comics, and how where Venom was more of an anti-hero, a lethal protector, which they mentioned several times in this movie. Carnage is just a crazed maniac. He was like that even before he got the symbiote. And Carnage in this movie is played by Cletus. His character is named Cletus Cassidy. That's the human. And he's played by Woody Harrelson, who does a really good job at just being this psychopath with a motivation. And they get into the motivation. They show you a lot of flashbacks. They show you why he is the way he is. And we'll get into that more in a minute. But first, let me talk about my history with the Venom franchise, as young as it is. I did not love the first Venom movie. I thought it was visually stunning, as is this one. But I didn't like the way Eddie Brock met the symbiote and became Venom. Now, I understand why they did it, because at this point, I don't really know the deal between Sony and the Marvel. Spider-Man couldn't be in this one, the first one. And by the way, this is a spoiler review. So Venom, Let There Be Carnage has been out for over a month now. And that's part of the reason why I waited so long to film this. Another reason is just because I've been busy. As always, you know that about me by now. But here towards the end of this review, after I give my score, I'm going to talk about the post-credit scene. I'm going to talk about the ending briefly. This won't be a super long video. But I'm going to tell you, I didn't love the first Venom movie. And I didn't love this one, but I really, really liked it. This, to me, I listened to The Big Thing podcast on the SEN network. I'm a huge fan of the old school Schmo Snow, Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis. They're the guys who put on the movie trivia Schmo down here on YouTube. Check them out. I know you'll love the content they provide. They're actually a huge reason why I decided to start making YouTube videos, because those guys entertain me so much and I just love what they do. And I thought, hey, they're just regular guys who are talking about movies. I can do that too, just as a hobby, as fun. And I was listening to The Big Thing, and one of the guys gave the perfect analogy about this movie. He said, this movie is cotton candy. There's no nutritional value whatsoever to it, but man, is it fun. And it is so much fun. Andy Serkis directs this, and this is, I believe, his second movie he's ever directed. He directed the Mowgli, the Jungle Book adaptation on Netflix, which I never saw. I love Andy Serkis as an actor. I love what he does with motion capture. But his directing, I thought, was fine. This movie's crazy. It's 90 minutes exactly. Like, it's exactly 90 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, of just pure insanity. And going back to the character of Carnage, because that's what the selling point of this movie was. You know, they teased it at the end of the first Venom. Why wasn't Carnage the main villain in the first one? Well, because they were saving him for this one. And the scene where Cletus gets the symbiote and becomes Carnage, I was on the edge of my seat. I thought it was visually stunning. You could tell this is a terrifying individual. He was already dangerous before, but now that he has this symbiote, this alien organism that needs to bond with a host to survive, it amplifies their senses. They touched on that in Spider-Man 3, which I'll be reviewing soon. That'll be a fun time. And I thought Carnage looked amazing. I thought they did a great job portraying him as vicious. I loved Carnage. I didn't love Cletus very much. And the reason I say that is because they try to explain why this man became a deranged serial killer. You know, he's essentially Marvel Comics' version of Charles Manson. And they explain why he's the way he is. I mean, obviously something happens to someone to turn them into a mass murderer. Well, they explain it. He was abused by his mother, by his grandmother, his dad. I don't even remember if they mentioned his dad or not. But it's like, so hey, I killed my mom. I killed my grandma. I pushed her down a flight of stairs because she was mean to me. All I ever wanted was friends. And I thought that was executed poorly. It was like, hey Eddie, I'm not a crazy man. I'm just a vengeful one. And no, you're just a freaking psycho, man. But his motivation, he fell in love with the character Shriek, who was in the comics. I don't remember much about their relationship in the comics, but I thought their dynamic worked. But it's ironic because her superpower is she's almost like the equivalent of the X-Men Banshee. She screams and makes supersonic sounds, while symbiotes have a weakness against loud noises. So that comes into play. The dynamic between Venom and Eddie Brock, played again by Tom Hardy, I really enjoyed, and that's really the core of the movie, is the friendship, the relationship between the two. They can't stand each other. It's like having a roommate who you can't stand them, but you love them at the end of the day. Michelle Williams also comes back, and I thought she was completely, utterly wasted in this movie. There was no reason for her character to be in the movie at all. The only reason she was there is because she's Michelle Williams. She's a great actress. She was in the first one, so they put her in this one. She should not have been in the film. She had nothing to do, and if you cut every scene with her out, it doesn't change anything. The end fight between Venom and Carnage, I was a big fan of. I didn't like the way they just killed Cletus Cassidy off. Venom literally bites his head off. And it's like, oh, come on. We can use him again for a future movie, because it's clear that Sony and Marvel, there's more to this deal now than we originally thought. And we'll get into that here in a minute. But again, going into my score for the movie, it was just fun to watch, and I enjoyed it a lot. Wasn't the best made film ever. Andy Serkis has a lot of potential as director, but I don't think he's quite there yet. But again, I go to the movies to have fun. Before I was a critic per se, I was just a guy who enjoyed going to the movies to have a good time, and I had a really good time with this. So 7.5 out of 10. That's my score for Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Now let's talk about the good stuff. That post-credit scene, which, it's no secret if you've watched any of my videos, my most anticipated movie of the year for a while is Spider-Man No Way Home. The Spider-Verse storyline, which we all knew was coming. The last trailer really confirmed that. Well, the post-credit scene of this movie, Eddie and Venom are hiding out. They're in some hotel in Mexico or somewhere. And all of a sudden, Doctor Strange's spell happens. And boom. Eddie Brock and Venom are in Tom Holland's universe. They're in the MCU, we think. Tom Holland's Spider-Man exists in this world because they shows the broadcast from the end of Far From Home. So what does that mean going forward? Do I think Venom himself will be in No Way Home? Honestly, I'm not sure. I feel like there's already so much stuff going on in this movie. I don't really know if there's room or if there's a reason to have him there. But I absolutely 100% think Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Venom are going to meet in the future. And again, this deal between Sony and Marvel, I have no idea what happened, but we all remember back after Far From Home came out, they came out with this thing, well, hey, Sony's taking the character of Spider-Man back. He's not going to be in Marvel anymore, not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, I never bought that for a second. I knew it was, if anything, it was them trying to get more money. Well, now we know, not only do we have this other movie, No Way Home, but you see the Morbius trailer, who is another Spider-Man character. What universe is that one in? There's a picture of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the Daily Bugle from Andrew Garfield's The Amazing Spider-Man movies, and Michael Keaton's character is in that movie. What are they doing? I think, and this is just my speculation, it's just a theory, I could be completely wrong. I hope I'm not, though. I think Sony and Marvel have entered into a multi-year agreement. They are about to burst the Spider-Verse thing wide open. It's not just going to be one movie. it's not just going to be No Way Home where we see Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield all together for one awesome movie and then it's over. I don't think that at all. I think we're about to get several different movies. One of the guys on The Big Thing theorized, he thinks maybe we'll get Amazing Spider-Man 3. Maybe we'll get Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I know we'll know more. We'll have a better idea of where things are going after we see No Way Home. But I'm excited, man. And yeah, Venom and Spider-Man, you got to have them meet eventually. Despite the direction they went in this franchise with Venom's development, Venom and Spider-Man are so connected. You've got to have them together. And I'm very excited for the future. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like and subscribe if you would be so willing. Spread the word about the channel. Sorry I haven't put more content out lately. You know, life's crazy. But again, with No Way Home coming soon, I'm gonna make good on my promise. I'm gonna have reviews of all the Spider-Man movies coming soon. In fact, one of them may be up very soon. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an awesome night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.